You want me to say something? Good morning, everybody. I know some of you are still working on getting tuned into our live stream. We're up here in the Sky Studio at One Yoga, and the morning sun is really, really bright and beautiful. I did have to put down one of the blinds so that I am not blinded by the light as I teach. And obviously, I'm not Greg. Greg is returning on Wednesday, so my name is Amanda Freya. I've been teaching here, it's been over a year at One Yoga now. So yeah, very honored to be teaching you this morning. And I think, it's 9 o'clock now, so I suppose we'll get started. Okay, so we will begin lying on our backs in a shape called constructive rest pose. So making your way onto your back, with knees bent, you'll bring your feet as wide as your mat, knees gently falling together. Option here to gently close your eyes, to draw your awareness inward. And we'll connect with the breath here by placing your right hand over your belly and your left hand over your heart. And without making any changes to your breath, notice the movement of your breath through space. As you welcome your breath with your hands, notice what moves and expands as you inhale. And what moves and relaxes as you exhale. Using this awareness to settle in with the present, to settle in with your inner landscape. How are you feeling this morning? There's a lot of things in the world outside right now that are outside of our control. It's important that we take the time in yoga to focus on the controllables. So we'll begin to consciously deepen our breath, sending your breath to your low ribs and belly. And see if you can begin to feel your belly expand against your hands on your inhale, and gently soften and relax with your exhales. And just simply watching your breath isn't enough to occupy your mind. Then as you inhale, silently repeat to yourself, I breathe in. With your exhales repeating, I breathe out. And watching this deep, intentional breath for 5 more full cycles. Breathing in, breathing out. After your 5th round of breath, We'll straighten your right leg long on the mat and straighten your left leg long on the mat. Inhale to take a long body stretch, reaching arms overhead. Open up, exhale, let it go. We'll do 2 more like that. Inhale, reach and stretch. Open up, exhale, allow all the muscles to relax. Deep inhale to reach, waking up. Open up, exhale. Then we'll hug both knees in towards your chest, giving yourself a hug. It might feel nice to gently rock from side to side or draw circles with your knees. Giving yourself a low back massage. A little self-care here. Then bring the knees to center. Place both hands around your right shin. Extend your left leg up towards the ceiling. We'll explore movement here in the left ankle, circling it out, one direction, the other direction. And then we'll point and flex the toes. So imagine that you're pushing on a gas pedal and then letting off the gas. Notice what sensation you feel as you do that. And we'll begin to connect the breath with gentle movement. On your exhale, bend your left knee, draw your left heel in towards your seat or your sit bone. Then with an inhale, re-straighten the left leg towards the ceiling. Exhale to bend the knee, draw the heel in. Inhale to lift and straighten. Exhale to bend the knee, option to point the toes towards the floor. Inhale to lift and straighten, option to flex the toes towards the face. We'll continue this about 5 more times, matching the duration of the movement with the duration of your breath. And we use this connection of breath with movement to connect to the mind and body, to connect to the present moment. Focus on the controllables. And you're in control of your breath, your body, your awareness. Next time you inhale to lift the leg towards the ceiling, we'll hold and breathe here. Gently flexing the toes towards your face so you can reach your heel towards the ceiling. Check in, notice how your hamstrings are feeling here. If they're feeling really tight or tense, be kind to yourself. Place a soft bend in the left knee. No need to cause any additional stress or strain here. See if you can relax your low back into the floor a little bit more with your exhales. And continue consciously deepening your breath into your low ribs and belly. Feeling the belly rise and fall with the breath cycle. And deep inhale to expand. And with your exhale, slowly with control, reach out through the left heel as you slowly lower the left leg all the way down to the floor. And when that heel makes connection with the earth, allow your hips to grow heavy, feel them settle down, and then use your hands to draw circles with your right knee. Just exploring sensation in the hip. Using this sensation to stay anchored in the present. And then reverse the circles. I'm just taking things nice and easy here. And we'll move into reclining tree pose. Place the sole of your right foot to your inner left thigh. Your right knee will open out wide to the right. And option here, if the knee is lifted way up, to slide a prop underneath. So that could be a towel or a blanket, whatever feels cozy. With an inhale, reach your arms overhead, feeling a gentle back bend. And with your exhale, shimmy your shoulders over towards the right, towards your bent knee. And I like to call this shape a banana tree. So our body is in the shape of a banana, and our legs are finding a similar foundation as tree pose when we're standing. If you have a lot of tension in your shoulders, it might be really sweet here to bend the elbows. Or if you'd like more of a stretch along the left side of your body, option to gently pull on your left wrist. And deepen your breath here. Imagine that you're breathing along the entire left side of your body, from your left fingertips all the way down to your left toes. With the inhale, see if you can feel your left lung expand against your ribs. With your exhale, allow the entire back of your body to grow heavy, relaxing into the floor, as if you were sinking into sand. Watching your smooth, deep breath here for 5 more full cycles. Noticing if any tension or engagement has crept into your legs, and allow them to grow heavy. Use your next inhale to gently return your shoulders to center. Hug your right knee in towards your right armpit, giving your right leg a nice big hug. Then we'll move into a supine twist. Use an exhale to draw the left knee across, or rather the right knee across the body, maybe passing it over into your left hand. And I find that it helps to create space for the twist, so bumping your hips over to the right so that you're on your outer left hip. Option to extend your right arm out wide to the right. Option for the palm to be facing up towards the ceiling or down towards the floor for more groundedness. If this top knee is lifted way up, option to slide a prop underneath. Again, that could be a blanket. If the shoulders are lifted way up, option to shimmy them underneath you. Just getting comfortable, getting cozy, allowing the shoulder blades to get grounded. Making this shape as comfortable as possible so you can really settle in with your breath. And sending your breath deep into your belly, finding that inner calm, that inner peace that always resides within us. Sometimes we just have to pause and slow down to find it. And there's this poem from Albert Camus that I like to share in my classes, especially during the winter time, which says, "In the midst of chaos, I found there was within me an invincible calm In the midst of winter, I found there was within me an invincible summer. And yoga gives us these tools to access this calm, this peace, this joy within, allowing outside distractions, chaos, melt into the background. And staying in this shape, 3 more full belly breaths. And then gently unwind, returning to center, bending the knees, and once again giving yourself a great big hug. Taking any little movements, any little wiggles that feel good as we set up for the second side. Returning to your calm center, your calm breath. Then bring your hands to your left shin, hugging the left knee in towards the chest. Extend your right leg up towards the ceiling. And once again, explore movement, circling out the ankle. Noticing if this ankle is crunchier or quieter than the other one. And pointing and flexing the toes, pushing on the gas pedal and letting off. Hatha yoga is all about balance, balancing effort with ease, work with rest, inhales with exhales. And so as we begin to connect the breath with movement here, see if you can inhale for the same equal duration as your exhale. Maybe it helps to silently count to yourself, perhaps for a count of 4, or a count of 5. You find your rhythm. But with the exhale, you'll bend your left knee, hug the right heel in towards your right sit bone. Then with an inhale, lift and straighten the leg up towards the ceiling. Exhales to bend the knee, option to point the toes. Inhale to lift and straighten, option to flex the toes. Exhale to draw into your center. Inhale to lift energy upward. And continue this 5 more times on your breath, perhaps silently counting to yourself, finding equanimity of the breath. Inhales equaling the exhale's duration. Watching the movement of your breath through space, your breath through time. And taking as much time as you need to finish up your 5th round. You already know where we're going next. We'll meet with the leg extended towards the ceiling, gently reaching through the heel, creating a sensation of lift and expansiveness. Placing any gentle bends in the knee that feels good. It allows you to balance that effort with ease. And take a deep inhale, feel the belly expand. And with an exhale, keep the heaviness in the hips as you reach through the right heel to slowly lower the right heel all the way down to the floor. Right leg grows heavy and grounded as we use the hands to circle out the left knee, being gentle, observing the effect of movement on the sensations in the body. And then we'll transition into reclining tree pose, sole of the left foot to the inner right thigh, or a couple inches away. The knee will open out wide to the left. Option to slide a prop underneath. And maybe you didn't need one on the first side. Second side could be very different. Allow the legs to grow heavy. Inhale to reach the arms overhead, very gentle back bend. Then exhale to find banana tree, shimmying your shoulders over towards the left, towards the bent knee. Option to bend the elbows, or maybe pull in the right wrist, creating a long body stretch along the right side of your body. And breathing into that. And anchoring your awareness in the sensation of your right lung expanding against your ribs. And the inhale. And fully softening and relaxing on the exhale. Imagine that the back of your body is creating an imprint in sand, growing heavy, releasing any effort as your breath gently moves the front of your body. Watching this for 5 more breaths. Use an inhale to gently return your shoulders to center and hug your left knee in towards your left armpit. Nice big hug here. And with an exhale, draw the left knee across your body, rolling onto your outer right hip. And again, it might help to scoot your hips over to the left. Create space for that twist. Option to slide a prop underneath this knee if it's lifted. I kind of wish I had brought my blanket from home. And then extend your left arm out wide to the left. Again, option for palm to be facing up or down. Option for your gaze to be out over your left arm if that feels good. And find whatever placement of the right hand that feels nice. And I'm just resting on my hand, or rather resting my hand on my belly here, so I can really connect to that deep breath, that invincible calm within. Our breath is such a powerful tool that we have available to us. And slowing down the breath intentionally helps to slow down those racing thoughts in the mind. Connecting to that breath to feel grounded, to feel centered. Notice if your legs have engaged. I just noticed my right leg was really tensing up there. So I'm using my exhales to invite the legs to be heavy. It's going to be okay. You can relax. 3 more breaths here. time, we'll return to center, bending the knees. And give yourself one final big hug here. Maybe you're craving some movement, maybe you prefer some stillness. Whatever helps you to find balance. There's so much imbalance in the world outside. It's so important that we strive to find inner balance. Know that there's no such thing as perfect balance. We can strive for it. And by striving for it, we're getting grounded in the present, right? We're consciously focusing our efforts towards finding that balance. Embracing the pace of our journey. Adapting the practice as needed so that it feels good. And we'll be making our way into tabletop pose. So option here, release feet down to the floor, roll over onto either side. And then press through the palms. Transitioning into tabletop pose. I'm going to face towards this way. My friend Steph is actually here in the studio. She's like 12 feet away. We're safe. All right, so in tabletop pose, shoulders stacked over wrists, hips over knees. I'll guide you through a few rounds of cat-cow. With the inhale, gently lift the tailbone, reach the chest forward. The exhale, press through the palms, round the spine, lengthening tailbone towards the floor. Inhale, tailbone lifts, chest reaches forward. Exhale to press and round. Inhale to extend. Exhale to round back. We'll be here for about 5 more breath cycles. You could continue with cat-cow, embracing the familiarity of these movements. Or if you'd like to go off-roading a little bit, go on your own adventure, maybe you would add some additional movements like side bends, some wrist stretches, flipping the palms towards you. Really listening inward to your body. What do you need to help you start the day on a positive note? To access your inner calm, your inner joy. And so I typically teach vinyasa classes here at One Yoga. But when I teach Hatha, I'm really slowing things down. We're in no rush to get into a standing pose. I just noticed we're about 30 minutes into class. We haven't stood once yet. And that's okay with me. Really getting grounded here. Definitely needed. All right, we'll settle back into tabletop pose. Bring awareness and strength into your center, knitting your low ribs towards each other. Imagine you're shortening the distance between your ribs and hip points. But even with that engagement, see if you can breathe deeply into your belly. Finding that balance of calm and strength. Take a deep inhale through the nose. Open mouth, exhale, side out. Deep inhale. And with an exhale, curl the toes under and lift the hips for downward facing dog. Walking out our first downward facing dog of practice. Bending one knee, bending the other, wiggling the hips. And I love downward facing dog because it allows us to do a little inventory of how the back of our body is feeling. So check in, how are your calves? How are your hamstrings? How are your shoulders and low back? So if you're finding that down dog is a stressful shape this morning, if it's just too much intensity, you can always lower down into tabletop or child's pose. Or maybe down dog is where you'd like to be. I'll be guiding you through some cues to find a strong foundation in down dog. And then we'll flow through a modified vinyasa here. So settling into down dog, we'll spread the fingers wide apart from each other. See that your feet are hip-width distance apart. Come up onto your tippy toes. Bend your knees deeply. Push out firmly through your hands so you can lift your hips high towards the ceiling. Keep the lift of your hips as you press your thighs back and reach your heels down towards the floor. The goal isn't to get your heels grounded, mine will probably never be grounded, but to keep the lift of your hips towards the ceiling, and that might mean bending your knees a little bit more. Actively ground down through your hands to create a sense of stability and strength along the spine. And engage the belly and continue to breathe deeply there. Maybe you can feel your belly rise and fall against your thighs. We're working towards that. 3 breaths. Well, you're always welcome to release early. Deep inhale through the nose. Open mouth, exhale. With an inhale, gently lower your knees down to your mat or a blanket and reach the chest forward for cow. Exhale, send the hips back for child's pose, gently rounding the spine. We'll be flowing with the breath here. Inhale to rise back up to tabletop, reach the chest forward. Then exhale, curl your toes under, downward facing dog. You can also omit down dog by just settling into child's pose. Deep inhale through the nose. Open mouth, exhale. Inhale, lower down to the knees. Reach the chest forward for cow. Exhale to round back, child's pose. Inhale, tabletop, reach the chest forward. Exhale, curl the toes under, down dog, full breath cycle. Deep inhale. Full exhale. I'll guide you through 1 more, then 2 more on your own, and you can always peek at the screen if you forgot what we did. So with an inhale, lower down to your knees. Reach the chest forward. Exhale, round to child's. Inhale, tabletop, reach the chest forward. Exhale, curl the toes under, down dog. And then 2 more on your breath. We'll start in down dog with a deep inhale. Full exhale. And then inhale to lower down and move through. Finish in your own time, embracing the pace of your journey. We'll be meeting in child's pose. Option to take the knees as wide as the mat, big toes to touch. Option to extend your arms long in front of you. And then it might feel nice here, we're doing a lot of weight bearing on the hands, to circle out your wrists. Allow your forehead to relax down onto a surface. Maybe that's the mat, maybe a block. We'll be spending quite a bit of time here in child's pose. So take whatever variation feels good. Maybe you're craving some little side bends, creating side body stretches by walking hands over to the right and then to the left. If you've been in class with me, you know that I'm a big fan of reverse namaste shark fin, which is bending the elbows and bringing hands behind the head and gently pulling back on the elbows, creating a nice little stretch in the triceps or the back of the arms. We'll be here for about 5 more full cycles of breath. Deepening your breath to your low ribs and belly. Feeling that expansion in between your legs as you inhale. And with your exhale, see if you can feel your hips settling back in space just a little bit more. More sense of groundedness, more ease. This is a wonderful time to be engaging Ujjayi Pranayama if you haven't started doing that yet. So that's inhaling and exhaling out through the nose with a slight constriction in the back of the throat so that your breath sounds like the waves of the ocean flowing in and out. Very calming, very grounding. You can really hear it when you're in child's pose. Watching your breath flow in and out. 2 more cycles. And with an inhale, we'll rise up to tabletop. And then exhale to curl the toes under and lift the hips, downward facing dog. Inhale to gaze forward. Then exhale, bend your knees deeply. Take as many steps as you need to come to a forward fold at the top of your mat. See that your feet are hip-width distance apart or even wider if that feels good in your body. Bend your knees deeply so you can rest your torso onto your thighs. Relax the hands down onto a surface that feels good. That could be the floor, it could be blocks. Or maybe you're bringing your hands to your hips because all of those things feel really far away. Bending the knees deeply allows you to find ease in your low back, your hamstrings, and see if you can connect to the sensation of your belly rising and falling against your thighs. Watching that for 3 full breaths here. And each exhale, actively pressing your heels into the floor, feeling grounded. You can inhale, root through your feet, and then lead with the chest to rise all the way up, sweeping arms overhead, palms touch. And exhale, join palms together at heart. Inhale to sweep the arms high. hands at heart. Inhale, feel that expansiveness like you're welcoming the morning sun. Exhale, draw into your calm, strong center. Option to close the eyes. Repeat this 3 more times on your breath. Next time you gather hands together at heart center, we'll pause here for a moment, noticing the beat of your heart against your thumbs. Using the beat of your heart to return to center. To practice observing without judgment. Close your eyes, gently blink them open. We'll interlace our fingers together. Inhale to outstretch the arms in front of you and then reach the arms up towards the ceiling, gently drawing the shoulder blades towards each other. No need to cause strain, maybe your arms are here. Then with an exhale, round your upper back, return the hands to shoulder height. Inhale to scoop and lift. Exhale to round forward. Inhale to lift. Exhale to round. Repeat this 3 more times on your breath. Bringing your awareness to the space between your shoulder blades, noticing how that space changes with your breath and with movement. Next time you inhale to reach up, we'll exhale to release the hands off to the side. Then we'll clasp the palms behind the back. Inhale to lift the chest. Hands will be reaching down towards the floor. Lengthen your tailbone to create space in your low back. You want to avoid crunchiness there. We'll hold and breathe here. With each exhale, actively pressing down through your heels, feeling grounded and strong. Each inhale, curling the shoulder blades towards each other, feeling your energy lifting up towards the ceiling. Creating space for your smooth and steady breath. And I'm going to be turning so that you can see what I'm doing with my hands behind my back. You'll inhale to reach the palms towards the ceiling, or rather the floor. And then exhale, bring your hands over to your right hip. So you could keep the fingers clasped together if that's uncomfortable. Option for hand to opposite elbow. Gently release the right ear down towards the right shoulder. Soften the shoulders down and away from the ears, creating a stretch along the left side of your neck. And then gently tilt the chin down towards the chest, noticing how that changes where you feel the stretch. Using each exhale to invite the shoulders to soften and relax. Inhale to return chin to center. Reach the palms straight down behind you. Then exhale, bring both hands over towards your left hip. Again, option to keep the fingers clasped or opposite hand towards opposite elbow. Use an exhale to release the left ear down towards the left shoulder. Feeling the stretch along the right side of your neck. Tilt the chin down towards the chest, changing the stretch. Softening with the exhales. And with an inhale, we'll return the chin to center. Reach the palms straight down towards the floor. Then exhale to release your arms down by your side, mountain pose. See that your feet are hip-width distance apart, giving yourself a nice wide foundation. Actively push down through all four corners of your feet. Stack shoulders over hips, ears over shoulders, relaxing arms down by your side, palms facing forward. And we'll take a couple shoulder rolls together. Inhale, shrug the shoulders up towards your ears. Open mouth, exhale, release them back and down. Two more. Inhale, lift. Open mouth, exhale, relax. Inhale, lift the ears up, feel that tension. Open mouth, exhale, release. Inhale to reach the arms overhead. And with an exhale, we'll lean over towards the right. Option for a steeple grip here. We are clasping the fingers, releasing pointer finger and thumb. Leaning over towards the right, bumping your left hip out wide to the left. If this doesn't feel good in your arms to have steeple grip, be gentle, release your right hand down to the right thigh. As you send your hips wide to the left, lengthen the tailbone towards the floor, rooting into the strength of your foundation. In these standing poses, we'll be focusing on balance. And we might think that balance is the ability to hold as still as a statue while balancing on one foot, but it's actually the ability to adapt to change, to stay positive amidst challenge. So there's three things that we're focusing on: a strong foundation, a steady breath, and a focused gaze. Option to keep your gaze at the floor, out at an unmoving point, or maybe lift your gaze up at your top arm. And we're practicing this here while we're standing on 2 feet, because we'll have the opportunity to practice it on 1 foot later. And we'll inhale to return to center. Then exhale, lean towards your left. Again, option for a steeple grip, or to be a little more gentle, release the left hand down to the left thigh. Lengthen your tailbone, root through your strong foundation, and then find your steady breath. Maybe you can feel your lung expand against your ribs as you inhale, and feel yourself grounding down through your feet on your exhales. And then find your gaze here, your focus. Maybe it's out in front of you, or maybe up at the top arm if that feels okay in your neck. With an inhale, we'll return to center. Exhale, hands together at heart. And we'll be moving through some standing twists. We're in mountain pose at the top of the mat. Again, find your strong foundation. Actively root through all 4 corners of your feet. Inhale to sweep your arms overhead. Then exhale, open arm twist to your right. Send your right arm straight back, left arm straight ahead. Inhale to return to center, arms lift high. Exhale, open arm twist to your left, left arm back, right arm forward. Inhale to return to center. Exhale, twist right, option for gaze to follow your back hands. Inhale to center. Exhale, twist left, maybe gazing over your left hand. Inhale, center. We'll add some additional balance challenges here. With your inhale, twist right, lift your right heel. Exhale to return to center, lower the heel down. Inhale, twist left, left heel lifts. Exhale, inhale, heel lowers, return to center. You could stick with that, or inhale, twist right, lift your right knee towards your chest, lifting your foot off of the floor. Inhale, heel lowers, return to center. I'll get that this time. Exhale, twist left, option to lift your left knee. Inhale to center. Exhale, right, again, heel or foot lifts. Inhale, root down and center. Exhale, twist left. You decide how much you lift your left leg. Inhale, center. Repeat this 3 more full cycles on your breath. You decide your foundation. Connect to your breath. And then find the gaze that optimally challenges your balance. Embracing the wobbles, remembering we're human, we're not statues. And that's what makes us beautiful. And after your 3rd round, we'll meet together in equal standing pose, joining palms together at heart center. Again, option to close the eyes as you focus your awareness inward, noticing the effects of movement on your breath and your heartbeat. And connecting to your foundation, feeling your feet rooting into the floor. And feeling the crown of your head lifting towards the ceiling. Feeling that balance of energy grounding down as you lift upward. And blink your eyes open. We'll step the left foot back, coming into a warrior 1 stance. See that your feet are on separate lanes. So your feet are hip-width distance apart rather than on a tightrope. We want a nice strong foundation here. The front knee is bent, you decide how much, and our shoulders and hips are working towards the front of the mat. Lengthen your tailbone down towards the floor so you can really root through your heels. Feel that connection with the floor. With an inhale, reach your arms overhead. Then exhale, find cactus pose, drawing the shoulder blades towards each other. Elbows will be out wide, so arms are at 90 degrees here. We'll be moving our arms in this sequence. If your shoulders are feeling tired, be kind to yourself. Join palms together at heart, especially if that helps you to feel more centered and grounded. With an inhale, we'll reach the arms high. Exhale into cactus, drawing the shoulder blades towards each other. Inhale to lift. Exhale, cactus. Inhale, reach towards the ceiling. Exhale to draw in. 3 more on your breath. Equanimity of inhale and exhale. Last inhale to reach high. Exhale, hands to heart. Step to the top of your mat. And I always like to do a little hokey pokey in between sides. Really nice way to let go of the first side. Get ready for the second side. It's always a new adventure. Warrior 1 with the left foot forward. We'll step the right foot back, again setting up our strong foundation foundation. So your feet are on separate lanes here. Back toes are angled out 45 degrees. Bending the front knee, our shoulders and hips are facing towards the front of the mat. Lengthen your tailbone, root through the strength of your foundation. Find your steady breath. Inhale to reach the arms high. Exhale into cactus. And then you are welcome to play with your gaze here. So we've been playing with movement and breath. See if maybe you'd like to lift the gaze as we inhale to reach up. And then exhale, cactus, maybe you gaze at the floor. Also an option to close your eyes as you inhale, lift. And exhale into cactus. Inhale to reach high. Exhale, cactus. 3 more on your breath. Finding the gaze that feels good, that allows you to focus and feel grounded. One more inhale to lift high. Exhale, hands together at heart. Stepping to the top of the mat and shaking things out. And from here, we'll step the left foot back. Bring your arms out to a T so our toes are pointing towards the long edge of the mat. And with your arms at a T, see that your feet are about as wide as your hands. And this is just a nice way to measure out our stance for Warrior 2 and for wide-legged forward fold. If you find that this stance doesn't work in your body, you're welcome to modify. We'll take Warrior 2 with the right foot forward. So right toes will be pointing straight ahead towards the short edge of your mat. Back toes are angled forward slightly. Roll your seat towards the floor. Actively press through your feet, feeling the strength of your foundation. Option here with the inhale to rotate the shoulders so the palms are facing up. Connect your breath with subtle actions, using your exhales to root into the strength of your foundation. Sometimes lengthening your tailbone can help with that. And with your inhales, curling your shoulder blades behind your heart, feeling broad across your chest, creating space for a smooth and steady breath. And then find the gaze that feels stable and steady, maybe out over your front hand. Watching this connection of breath and subtle action for 3 more cycles. If this is starting to feel too intense in your front leg, you can always reduce the bend in the knee. And we'll straighten the front leg. Pivot toes towards the long edge of your mat, setting up for a wide-legged forward fold. So we're squaring the feet so they're parallel with one another, toes pointing straight ahead. Inhale to lift your chest. With an exhale, hinge forward from the hips, releasing the hands down to a surface that feels good. That could be the floor, could be blocks or an ottoman or a sofa. Or maybe you're able to clasp the big toes or the shins. If all of those things feel really far away, you could have your hands on your hips and stay up here. Maybe there's a bend in the knees. Find the shape that supports a strong foundation, actively rooting down through your heels. And then find the placement of your upper body that supports a smooth and steady breath. Watching your breath here for 5 more full cycles. Samavriti breath, equal duration of inhale and exhale. If you've got your hands on your hips, you can continue hanging out there. Otherwise, bring your hands to a surface underneath your shoulders. Inhale to fingertips, halfway lift. Exhale, hands to hips. Inhale, root down through your feet to slowly rise up, leading with the chest. And we'll find warrior two towards the other side. So simply staying in this stance, but pivoting the feet. So now left toes are pointing straight towards the short edge of your mat. Back toes are angled forward slightly. If your arms are starting to feel fatigued, you're welcome to bring hands together at heart. Making the practice work for you, finding your inner balance, adjusting to find that balance of effort and ease. So you're in control of the intensity of your practice. You can dial it up or dial it down as needed. Option here to inhale, rotate the shoulders, palms up. Maybe gazing out over your front hand, or maybe you'd like to close your eyes. Imagining what you look like in this shape. Not worrying about what you look like. What's more important is how you feel. But using that power of imagination can really connect you to the present. To be fully aware, fully connected. Finding your foundation, your breath, and your focus. And there's a lot of change around us. It's so important that we can keep things simple. There's only 3 things to really be thinking about in this moment. Foundation, breath, focus. Observing these 3 things for 3 more full cycles of breath. Good things come in 3s. And from here, we'll pivot toes towards the long edge of your mat. This time we'll come into a goddess squat. Bring your heels in, toes pointing outward. Knees are opening towards the pinky edge sides of the feet. Lengthening the tailbone towards the floor, stack your shoulders over your hips. Join palms together at heart center. Really rooting down through the heels, feeling the strength and groundedness of your foundation. And feeling the upward lift of energy out through the crown of your head. And then inhale, press through the feet and straighten the legs, reach arms overhead. And keeping the legs straight, exhale, hands together at heart. And then a little hokey pokey, shake it all of that. Tree pose is our final standing pose. So we're working on balance here. And remember I said it's not the ability to stand as still as a statue, but to adapt to change and to be positive even when there's challenge. You're welcome to be at a wall or find a surface to put a hand on or a pinky on for stability. Or stay in the center of the mat. We'll begin by rooting down through your right foot. Place your left foot on your ankle, your shin, or your inner thigh, whatever foundation feels steady for you. And like a tree, we must first find our roots, then we can sway in the wind. Then we can adapt to change. So feeling grounded, feeling rooted, imagine that there's roots coming out through your foot, really anchoring you into the floor. Option to bring hands together at heart center. Connect to your breath here. Maybe you're focusing your gaze on the floor or a steady point. If you'd like to play with balance here, we'll move into banana tree, which we did while lying down. Release the back of your left hand to your left thigh, just gently resting it there rather than pressing down. Inhale to reach your other arm up towards the ceiling. You could stay here, feeling centered, or with your exhale, lean towards the bent knee. Continue lengthening the tailbone to anchor through your foundation. Find your breath. Option to lift your gaze up at your top arm. Adapting to change. Staying anchored to three things: foundation, breath, focus. 3 more breaths here. And when you're ready, exhaling into hokey pokey, shaking it out, letting go of that side. And then side 2, rooting down through your left foot. Place your right foot on the ankle, shin, or inner thigh. You decide, it might be different on this side. No 2 trees are perfectly alike. Root down through your foundation. Feel the stability and strength of that standing leg. Then option to join palms together at heart center. Steady your breath. Find your gaze. Option to close your eyes. Know that nobody can see you if you fall. If a tree falls and no one's there to witness it, did the tree fall? I don't know if that's the exact joke, is it? I think I messed that up. That's okay. Release the back of your right hand to your right thigh. Inhale to reach the left arm high. You could stay central or exhale to lean your tree into the wind, maybe lifting your gaze up at your top arm. Adapting to change, flowing with movement, being positive, patient, and kind. The most important thing here is that you're breathing, that you're connected to the present moment. Connecting with others through this virtual environment. Knowing that others are having the exact same experience as you. And exhale, a little hokey pokey, shaking it out. So I promise that was our final standing pose. And nothing fancy to get down to the floor. Just go ahead and have a seat. Getting there however you like. Maybe you're doing a handstand to get there. Whatever you need in this moment. We'll be lowering down onto our backs. Soles of the feet are grounded. Knees bent. We'll gently lower down. When we get there, return to constructed rest pose from the beginning of practice. Feet as wide as the mat, knees gently falling together. And if you've lost sight of your breath, maybe placing your hands over your belly. Again, focusing on the controllables. Consciously deepening your breath into your low ribs and belly. And consciously relaxing the muscles along the length of your spine. And gently relaxing the back of your head into the mat. Settling into ease as you watch your breath flow in and out. And from here, we'll move into reclining figure 4. Bring your knees and feet hip-width distance apart. Cross your right ankle on top of your left thigh. Keep your left foot grounded. Keep your hips grounded and heavy. Widen your right femur bone, right knee out wide to the right. Option to flex the toes. You could stay central here, or if you'd like a bit of a twist, walk your left foot over towards your right hip and exhale to lower your legs over to the right. So you're bringing, or rather to the left, you're bringing the sole of your right foot down to the floor or to your inner left thigh. Just see that this right foot is grounded down on a surface. Option to rest the hands over the belly, focusing on the breath, or maybe you'd like more of a chest stretch, arms at a T, a goalpost, or a diamond shape overhead. Deepening your inhales and lengthening your exhales. Option to silently count the breath. Maybe you're inhaling for a count of 4 and exhaling for a count of 6. And then taking your time after your exhale, we'll inhale to return to center, uncross the legs, find constructive rest pose or hug the knees in for just a couple breaths here in between sides. Or maybe you're craving some movement, maybe windshield wipering. What do you need in this moment? And knees and feet hip width distance apart. Cross your left ankle on top of your right thigh. Widen the left knee out wide to the left. And with the right foot grounded, feel that the entire length of your spine, the back of your head, is relaxing into the floor. And you could stay here. This is a wonderful, lovely stretch, really great place to be grounded. Or for the twist, walk your right foot over towards the left hip. Exhale, legs lower to the right. Sole of the left foot is anchoring down, grounding down on a surface that feels good. Could be the floor, it could be your inner thigh. And then find the placement of the arms that feels cozy. As you consciously deepen your breath, lengthening your exhales, deepening your inhales. And relaxing the legs, especially that bottom one. Gently returning to center, unwinding, and taking any little final movements or wiggles that you need before releasing into your final Shavasana. Shavasana could be lying on your back, could be lying on your side or your belly, whatever allows you to get grounded and to fully relax. I'll only be guiding Shavasana for a very, very short time, but you're at home. You're welcome to stay resting here for as long as you like. Letting go of any effortful control of your breath. Allowing it to flow in and out naturally and freely like the waves of the ocean against the shore, relaxing into this calming rhythm. And if you find your mind wandering, your thoughts floating elsewhere, return to the cyclical nature of your breath. Each inhale nourishing you. Each exhale, letting go of tension. And you're welcome to stay here, watching your breath wash over you. Repeating to yourself, I breathe in, I breathe out. Or if you're ready to move on with your morning, we've got brunch waiting for you. Inhale to take a long body stretch, waking up. Exhale to bend the knees, rolling over onto either side. An option to stay resting here, feeling the support of the floor beneath you, grounding you. Or bringing this feeling of groundedness with you as you make your way into a comfortable seat. Option to join palms together at heart center. Expression of gratitude for your practice, your breath, and this reminder that although there's a lot in the world we can't control, we can carve out the time for ourselves to find that invincible calm within, our inner strength, our inner resilience. We'll end our practice with a collective breath, taking a deep inhale through the nose. Open mouth, exhale. Thank you so much for joining me this morning. It was a bit of a surprise for me, but a very pleasant surprise. I'm always so honored, so happy to just share this space with you. Be well. Hope to see you soon.